Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, The Collector. This is MI6, the Merchandise Vault. And as you can tell, this week, it's the beginning of May. It's a big month, isn't it? From a gaming perspective, it is a very, very big month. But yes, reflection video. So there's a number of things. It's been a while since I've done one, actually, of these. And looking back at this, there's stuff that I'm going to kick off with that took place in March. So whilst I've got my drink, whilst I'll swap glasses so I can see what on earth is down on my nose. First thing to kick off with, back in March, can't remember the date exactly now, but we had Bait starring Riz Ahmed and Guz Khan. I'm not going to give anything away because I know it's like a couple of months after the event, and it's only like 6 episodes, and the episodes average only about 25 minutes each overall, I think. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Riz Ahmed and Guz Khan, some great comedy value between them. But I must say, he only had a few lines, but Riz Ahmed's dad, some of the lines he was coming out with, I was crying. Really, really enjoyable. Can't imagine there'll be a sequel. I don't think there's any appetite for that. I wouldn't see the point of it personally. It touches on some, sensitive issues, but that was always going to be the case. But the circus that does go on when someone's linked with the lead role, it is a bit of a nonsense, and it's actually done really, really well. So I would recommend it. Give it a go. I mean, if you can't get on with it, then that's fair enough. But it's not like just check it out at all. Seems a bit of a potential missed opportunity. I mean, there's a number of things here. There was the usual April Fools, like alleged newsworthy stories going out, people potentially falling, whether they did or they didn't, but falling that, for the one that Pierce Brosnan's returning. Another one was the big one when I saw it flash up. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not. That Amazon, MGM, were going to be making a casting announcement at 5 o'clock that day. Never going to happen. We all know that who are kind of involved heavily in this, that nothing's going to be announced yet, if we're lucky, until the summer, because pure and simply, Denis Villeneuve is busy with Dune 3. It's as simple as that. So another one that I've seen, that's the end of the April Fool's business, was Louis Partridge from House of Guinness being linked to the role of Bond again. I mean, I think he's 22 years old, so certainly young enough. He's got a look about him. He kind of reminds me of a very young-looking Johnny Depp. I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying that, because the look, like how Johnny Depp was done up as Edward Scissorhands in his younger days. He's kind of got that look about him. Whether that's suitable for Bond or not, I don't know. And because obviously he was working with Stephen Knight, and there was these interviews recently saying, "Don't ask him about Bond. Don't ask him about Bond." So there's a bit of to and fro there. Great to see that Charlie Higson is doing another Bond book. This not a young Bond book, but King Zero, his first ever adult James Bond story, which I didn't realise actually. And I've got to say, as you know, I'm currently really enjoying reading the Ian Fleming novels. So I've not even read any of the other continuation authors. So that could be another thing to potentially traverse. I've not made my mind up yet. I would sooner get them. Well, my Fleming set was bought kindly as a Christmas gift, so if they are done in sets, I would sooner do them in sets, and then I know I've got them and I can read them all at my own pace. Possibly bore you all to death again with with some book reviews. And another interesting story that I saw, which was actually on the MI6, the home of James Bond website, and obviously they do the podcast by James Page, is apparently, and I'll tend to potentially believe this, put some stock into this, is that Felix Leiter in the new film looks set apparently to be Canadian as opposed to American. That might be a bit of a mind game to try and get used to. You know, it's like, say, well, changing James Bond to American. It just, you know, so I'm not too sure. I mean, if that does happen, I mean, there's so much we don't know. If that does happen, depending on how they do it and, you know, how it's portrayed in the film, I could potentially, well, I'd have to get used to it, wouldn't I? As would everybody else. But that's an interesting one. I also got to go last month. Or was it this month? No, it's last month. I lose track. I went to the GB007 event at Cafe Society, directly opposite the MI6 building down at Vauxhall Cross. Fantastic. Absolutely loved it. First fan event that I have attended in many a year. Mark and his team were brilliant. Victoria, who looked after Sebastian Foucan, lovely lady. I met Carl Brain of Bond in Yorkshire, a whole host of other people. And Sebastian Foucan himself, what an absolute joy. Bond's joined me today. Tobe's asleep on the daughter's bed. Yeah, he was so much fun, and a testament to the guy is it was £25 to meet him, get the autograph, have a photograph. He'd sign multiple things. It was like just being at your local pub or bar, chatting to just chatting to a friend. I couldn't praise him enough. He was amazing. And of the £25, bearing in mind 007 GB is a fundraiser. It's a non-for-profit club. I've been, like I say, incredible event, and I know they do incredible events because I've seen past ones. £5 out of every 25 that Sebastian received, he also donated that to UNICEF. I mean, that's incredible. He didn't have to do that, but what an absolute superstar. And he doesn't look like he's aged a bit, unlike some people. But this was the photograph that many of us plumped for because it soon ran out, and signed, obviously, Sebastian Foucan. At the bottom, his character name, Malaka. But an absolute joy to meet. He really was. Wouldn't mind meeting him again, just to have a chat and, yeah, interact again. He was brilliant. The NEC Toy Fair that I went to recently, I put my top on, hoping that I would discover some Gilbert toy line figures or toy sets. It brought me a lot of luck. I'm going to be going to a shop in the next, as I'm filming this, so this will come out, let me get this right, I'll have already been to the Acme Toy Company in Erdington. Really looking forward to it, and I absolutely recommend going there. Because the Gilbert figures that I purchased at the NEC a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks ago, they were actually there. They had a stall there, and that's where I arranged to say, yes, I'm going to come to the shop and hopefully pick up some additionals, because they tell me they do have some others there, so I'm going to go check that out and I'm going to do a little video of that, and hopefully get to be allowed to film in there. I know other people have done it. That's how I got to learn about the place. Now then, 3 more subjects left to go. These are the chunkier ones, and I'll do the small list if I can first. So May the 20th on Amazon Prime is the movie of Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Ghost War. Looks brilliant. John Krasinski and Wendell Pierce, who obviously play Ryan and Greer, their chemistry is brilliant. The humour between them is brilliant. Super looking forward to watching this. I love many an espionage character, as you well know, Bond being the primary of those said types of adventures, as well as many other franchises. I was gutted when they finished the TV show. It's a little bit like Alan Ritchson as Jack Reacher. You know, season 4 of that's coming out this year. That's going to be the final season of that. Hopefully, he will do movies for Amazon as Jack Reacher. You know, adapt a few more of the books. But check out the trailer unless you've already done so for Jack Ryan Ghost War. It's coming out, like I say, May 20th. Looks brilliant, action-packed, well worth a watch. Now, if you'd watched a previous video of mine, linking it back to Amazon Prime again, I did a video and I was discussing that I needed a fix for some espionage. We were in a drought, as you know. And I sat down and I remembered about a show called Citadel, starring a number of people: Stanley Tucci, Richard Madden. I forgot the name of the lady now that's in it. If you can hear screaming, someone's not being tortured or anything. There's just some obvious idiots somewhere not too far away. So you'll have to excuse that, unfortunately. So Citadel season 2. There was Citadel Diana and Citadel Honey Bunny. That was it. And the information at the time was that they were going to bring it all together and tie up the whole thing. My reckoning and belief in that is because they now control Bond. So they're going to just pour everything they did into this show, focus their efforts now in, expanding the Bond franchise in terms of the world he's in and whatever characters they decide to come up with or existing characters. It's back. It's coming out Wednesday, May the 6th. So, 3 days away. It's going to be 7 episodes. Go and check out the trailer. They're dropping all the episodes out on that Wednesday, so you can guess what I'll be doing for the majority of the next week. So, really looking forward to it. The interesting thing with the trailer is I didn't see any characters from Diana or Honey Bunny. So we should have to see how that plays out and whether they did include them. I'm assuming they did because they said they were going to. So I don't know about them at the moment. But I just want to touch on the fact that in the space of 18 months, Amazon created these 3 shows, all links to the Citadel, Manticore, etc. And love it or loathe it, they put a lot of gritty action on screen involving different characters. So whether they're going to go down that route, they've obviously got the capability of writing more than one script for one set of characters. So I am hopeful when Bond 26 is released, I believe 2028, tail end of 2028, that we can get a new James Bond adventure. I think the 2 year thing's long gone, but I think 3 years for a film, every 3 years, is doable. And then they're going to throw out whatever offshoots as and when. I'm not too sure. The next subject is probably the one I was going to do last, but actually, there's something else I'm going to switch it to. The last two things now is, although you can't see one, the elephant in the room, which is 007 First Light and the build up to it. You know, we're 26 days away from everybody going absolutely bonkers. I can't praise the marketing for this game enough. You would think it's, a film, and well, the way it's been done, it is like a film, isn't it? The marketing. They've not put one foot wrong. I'm no marketing expert, but I know what I like, and I like what I see. The Lana Del Rey song, with absolutely brilliant. It's took me a while to get my head around that it's for a game and not a movie because of how good this thing is. And the absolute iconic calling card and a stroke of genius, in my opinion, is to have David Arnold on board, collaborating with Lana Del Rey to write the song. Obviously, her perform it with the orchestra. And then when the title sequence came out and that song's put to those images, it's just, if that isn't the perfect reminder and calling card for Amazon MGM to say to Denis Villeneuve, look, you might want Hans Zimmer back, but look at this. Look at what this guy's done in the past, and now look at what he has literally just produced with Lana Del Rey for this computer game. There's a music, I don't know whether commentator's the right word, but in America, and I've got programs with him on. John, is it the guy from the US, John Burlingame? I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, but he summed it up brilliantly many, many, many years ago when Tomorrow Never Dies was in the making, and I think the song would come out, and the film may have even come out. I'm not too sure, but anyway, David Arnold had already produced his Shaken Not Stirred album, which I have in the cabinet over there. Absolutely brilliant, and that was like the perfect audition, if you like. And if it's good enough for Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, that landed him the movies that he did. What was it? 5 movies. You've got to know what you're doing. And John Burlingame said that David Arnold, at that time, back then, like he is now and always has been, is the heir apparent to John Barry. When I heard that Lana Del Rey song, I was right there. The horns, everything, absolutely brilliant. Gave me goosebumps, put a smile on my face. Couldn't have done it any better. Really couldn't have done it any better. And to coin a Bond term, nobody does it better like David Arnold since the passing of John Barry. So Amazon MGM, it's unlikely you'll see this, but for goodness sake, at least consider David Arnold, because it's an open goal for me and many, many other Bond fans, I would suggest. invite him back. I'm sure he will snap your arm off and probably your upper torso, because he's a fan. He gets it. He knows what fans like. The man's just so talented. So bring him back, please. And the final thing this morning, obviously, actually, I'll put this a different way. Back in 2020, 2021, the whole world shut down, didn't it, because of COVID? And we were in lockdown for a period of time. And one of the things, well, I suppose two of the things that got me through, one is my hobby. Okay, obviously family, that's a given. The hobby, but also the fact that MI6, The Home of James Bond, done by James Page and a number of other people, they did the watch-alongs. And that was brilliant. Now, I said, like, in a video not too long ago, oh no, I didn't, because that's not coming out until after this one. Scrap that. But I basically hadn't watched the movies properly since we've moved into the house, and we've been here 12 and a half years, as shocking as that is. They did the watch-alongs, but I did watch them, but with the sound down, listening to commentary with the podcast, which was great fun. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to do, and I've looked at it, a watch-along as well, but not of the movies, not of the 25 movies. I don't know whether you saw a video that I did. It was one of the original videos. I can't remember how many episodes in, but it was about the media stuff I've got. So, like the CDs, DVDs, VHSs, and so on. But I have got my own personal recordings that I've just took off the TV. I don't know why I did it. It's probably a throwback to back in the day of the 80s, because I am old. Just seeing my brothers try and record the top 40 of the day, where they'd try and stop it before the DJ spoke and then restart it after he'd finished. I basically did the same thing with TV specials. So whether it was like the Graham Norton show, or the film, I don't know, Film 95 or Film 97, or, programs on ITV, BBC, probably a random one on Channel 4, Channel 5. And I've got them, and they go back. I think they go back to, it's either GoldenEye or the build up to Tomorrow Never Dies. I can't remember, but it's at least 30 years. And I was looking, and there's about 48 or 49 different shows, varying from, like, I don't know, 20 to 25 minutes all the way up until, I think there's one for about 2 hours, but I think that's purely because it was possibly on late, and because of work, I just set the timer on the recorder. So seeing as how much I've enjoyed watching the movies, which goes without saying, I'm going to rewatch all these recordings that I've got on disc. So what I'm saying is, I'm going to do a watch along, one a week, not on a Sunday, but I'm going to call it Watch Along Wednesdays, and it'll come out somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening, and then you just watch it at your own leisure if you wish to do so. So, like a fool, I'm going to be doing 2 things a week now, only for the run of these, which obviously some of them hopefully I can do at the same time, depending on the length of the show. I just thought it's just an additional thing. If you wish to watch it, great. you might see something that you've not seen before, or an interview, or whatever it might be, because we've all seen the films. Yeah, the collectors watch along Wednesdays, but you don't have to watch it on the Wednesday. And that, my friends, brings this reflection video to a close. I don't know, obviously, when the next one will be. I'm sure I will do a disastrous video of me attempting to play First Light. But like I say, by the time the next reflection video comes out, and by the way, those watch along Wednesdays will start next month. I must point that out. So whatever that first Wednesday is in June, that's when the first one will kick off, to give me a time to put some of it together. It might be just a straightforward intro watch, but I'm bound to say something, or I might laugh or whatever. So, you know, we shall see how it plays out. But looking forward to watching them. I hope you may check them out too. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you this week. As always, leave a like, a follow, a share, word of mouth, and the one I always keep forgetting, a subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. The rest of your Sunday. Love to you all. Look after each other, and I will see you next weekend. Take care, everybody. Love you lots. Bye bye. Oh, look at this! It's a foot away from the phone. I can't believe it. So I'll have to do some reinvesting, I think. See you next weekend, folks. Take care.